Welcome to the Collector Cave, and today we're going to review Hasbro Marvel Legends Secret Wars Spider-Man. And for me, this is now the fourth Secret Wars figure I've reviewed, and I grew up as a kid in the 80s collecting these, and that was my introduction to Marvel Comics, was the Secret Wars toys. And a little note about me, this channel isn't just about reviews. You can watch a review anywhere. But I like to talk about nostalgia because that's why older ones like myself that are collecting are into it for the most part, is trying to capture that fire, that fun time as a kid. And seeing this packaging makes me feel like I'm 8 years old again or 7 years old again, going through Kmart and Montgomery Ward looking at these Secret Wars figures. And I didn't have this black version. Funny story, I had the red and blue one, the classic look. I still have them. But I remember this came out, and this became, a black suit Spidey became the most popular thing at that time. Like, people lost their minds that Spidey had a black suit. And so it became really popular. And I was never one that was on the bandwagon. I always liked to be different. So I refused to buy them. I mean, obviously my parents were buying them for me, but I didn't want them. I saw them in the store. I just never got the black suit Spidey. So for me, this is 40 years in the making of me getting a black suit Secret Wars Spider-Man figure. And I'm super excited. So the packaging is very reminiscent of the 80s packaging, although it just says Marvel Legends, which is different. But yeah, look at this. Check it out. So he has his secret shield that comes with a lenticular message, which we'll look at in detail. Comes with the 40-year anniversary placard you can put in the shield. And then there's the figure. He comes with 6 total hands, which is nice. And then an extra head sculpt. I would have liked to have seen some webs, but that's okay. So let's look at the back of this packaging. So here's all the figures that have released up to this point. And now that it's 2025 and it's no longer 40 years, I hope Hasbro has plans to make more, because we need a Doctor Doom, we need a King, a Dr. Octopus, Magneto. There was a bunch of villains they haven't made. They went different with Titania and Beyonder. I don't have either of these. I don't plan on getting them. It's cool they decided to go outside the box, but man, that should have been a Doom and a King, in my opinion. But regardless, here's some cool art from Secret Wars, and it says here, Spider-Man discovers a mystery glob on Battleworld, giving him a new black suit with stronger powers, and, unbeknownst to him, his first encounter with a certain alien symbiote. So cool. And then this just shows you how to change the message out. Now, if you've watched my other reviews, I've done Cap, Iron Man, and Wolverine. This packaging is not easy. If you want to keep the packaging, you've got to be really careful. So what I use is a razor blade, a sharp razor blade, and I'm going to cut along the side of this plastic to try and preserve this card back as best I can. It's real thick material, and the plastic goes inside the cardboard, so you can't pull it off. So I'm going to carefully unzip this thing with this knife, and then we'll look at this thing in closer detail. Okay, so just real quick to show you guys, I was able to take the razor blade and cut around the outside of this, and I could easily slip the figure out, but still keep the packaging pretty much intact. So I can store them in here if I want. I just love this card back because it brings back so much memories to me growing up as a kid in the 80s when these figures came out. So without further ado, there is Spidey. And everything he comes with 6 hands. He's got 2 whipping hands, even though there's no webs, and then 2 wall crawling hands, and then 2 fists. And then here is the Secret Wars little token, 40-year anniversary Marvel Superhero Secret Wars, which can be put inside the shield as well. And then here is the shield with a lenticular secret message. It's just Peter, and then changing into Spidey, which is really cool. I love these lenticular things. And even though it wasn't in the actual comic, it was a play feature for kids, right? So every Secret Wars figure had these. The one thing, and I've talked about it in other reviews, is that Marvel Legend, these versions, only come with 1. And while you can open it, they cheaped out. There's nothing on the back. There's not a message back here. The original ones came with back-to-back messages, and they had 4, I think, 4 total with each release. And they kind of cheaped out, unfortunately, and just gave you 1. I mean, I'm glad they gave this. I just wish they would have given more messages, because that was a cool feature for these toys. And then here's extra head sculpt, which I'm not a fan of this head sculpt. I'm not going to use it. We'll put it on the figure, but I would have rather have gotten like maybe Webb's or a Peter head sculpt instead of this thing. And you can see there's a joint there where the pieces were put together. Does not look pretty. Yeah, I'm not sure why they did that joint like that. Does this one have that? It does. Ugh. I don't like that. Not one bit. Not sure why they couldn't do it in one piece. Well, let's look at the figure. The face looks fantastic. I mean, those eyes are perfection. That is a really great look, man. They did a great job with that. Apart from that ugly line where the pieces were put together in the factory, that head sculpt and the paintwork on the eyes looks really good. The symbol, the white Spidey symbol, looks pretty good. Mine's got a dot there. That stinks. Any type of things like that, blemishes with the white spider, you're going to see it big time because of the black suit, the contrast. Back looks good. I've got a couple older Marvel Legends. I have a Venom Marvel Legends that very similar with this look, and then the butterfly joints there. But yeah, it looks good. You can do a lot of poses with this figure. And then there's the white on the hands, which is accurate as well. Remember, with the black symbiote suit, he didn't have to use web cartridges. The suit created the webs themselves. That was a big change in the comics, man. I remember that. I was like, whoa, he doesn't need cartridges? He can just create his own webs now? It was a big deal. Let's go ahead and go over articulation then. There's quite a bit to do with this Spidey figure. If you have any recent Spidey figures from Marvel Legends, it's kind of the same. Head's on a ball joint, and it looks down really good. Looks up really good, which you need for Pete for doing that. The neck does not have a ball joint at the base. It's just sculpted. And then, of course, the arms. And this figure is a little stuck out of packaging. I need to really use a blow dryer. I'm not getting 90 out of these. Boy. I need to use a blow dryer because this one's kind of stuck. I hate that about Marvel Legends. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. And if you notice, I meant to mention my other ones. These are pinless. These Secret Wars releases, they're pinless. Not all of them. On Cap, Iron Man, Wolverine, Spidey, they're pinless, which is kind of what Marvel's moved to, or Hasbro's moved to, which is great. And then ball hinge wrist joint. And then this one has a ball joint torso as opposed to the click that goes forward. I'm not sure why they decide on some Spideys to do the click one and some to do a ball joint. I think this looks better aesthetically than the click thing, but yeah, I don't know. I guess they do have a click. They have a click down here low. They have it down at the waist. Yeah, look at that. And then thigh swivel. His legs can go about 90. Double jointed knees. As you can see, there's a knee joint, not bad. A cut at the calf, and then your typical, and this is where mine are gummy, and I have to heat them up. The feet rock good, but forward to back, mine are not wanting to move too good right now. So typical Marvel Legends. Oh, and also ball butterfly joints. See how far back that goes back, and then it comes forward too. Somehow it comes forward a little bit forward, not a whole lot, but yeah. Boy, look at that. Look at that. That is cool, man. Yeah, really cool. Awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and change out this head. I'll show you guys the other head sculpt real quick. And then here's that head sculpt. See, I don't know. Not a fan of this head sculpt. It doesn't really look like Spider-Man to me. And I get they're trying to give you an extra one for eyes to make him just, I don't know, some sort of like different look. But I mean, I guess it's cool. I would have preferred a Pete head sculpt than this, but it's all right. Or webs, instead of that second head sculpt. So let's go ahead and do a little articulation with this guy, some poses. Okay, and you can see what I'm talking about really great articulation for this figure. If I would have unlocked this foot, his foot could have gone further forward, but I haven't used the hairdryer on it yet. But as you can see, he's whipping through some webs there. You can even put this hand back even further. Really dynamic poses for this guy. So while you see a lot of joints, it's not always the prettiest, with it being a black suit, they don't stand out as much, and you can get great articulation like this. So it's just too bad he doesn't come with any webs. I mean, I guess if you have another Spidey, you can always use webs from that Spidey, right? They kind of interchange, I think. Yeah, awesome. Let's do a couple comparisons now. Okay, and here's the 4 Secret Wars figures, hero figures that Hasbro has released up to this point. And as I've said in my other reviews, as a kid who grew up in the 80s, I can't be happier with how these turned out. I mentioned many times how dark and dreary everything is now in the 2000s, and just everything's black and dull, but you see these colors pop. Now, obviously, Spidey's black suit, right? But how these figures pop together, and the comic page, how cool they look. To me, this is peak comics right here, Secret Wars, mid-80s stuff. I loved it, absolutely loved it. Let's add a few more figures in now. All right, and here are figures that aren't technically Secret Wars released by Hasbro, but they all were in Secret Wars and could be considered Secret Wars figures. So Kang, that came out last year, came with the timeshare. And this Doom is a Secret Wars Doom along with the Monica Rambeau. They were a 2-pack a couple years ago. And then, of course, Hawkeye wasn't considered Secret Wars when he came out with the Light Cycle, but that's what he looked like as well. Classic 80s look. And I absolutely love, this is for me peak right here, man. It doesn't get any better than this. I just love the look of all these figures. I love the colors. They pop and they look great together. So let me know what you guys think. This Spidey, he's sold out, I think, everywhere. He's sold out on Hasbro Pulse, and I think he's sold out on BBTS as well, which is where I got him from. He was sold out. He came back in stock. I pre-ordered, got him. He sold out again. So I don't know if they'll get more in or not. We'll see. But if you get a chance to get the figure, man, I think it's a great, fantastic looking figure. Articulation is top notch. You can get some cool Spidey poses with him. And I'll say it again, all these figures together look great. And I think this Spidey was $24.99 on Hasbro Pulse and $25.99 on Big Bad Toy Store. So typical price for a current Marvel Legends figure from Hasbro. So I'm glad they didn't try and gouge and charge more for this figure. I do wish he would have come with more lenticular messages, all of them. I think that was a swing and a miss on Marvel's part. And I do hope that Marvel is going to release a Doom, a Kang, a Dr. Octopus, Magneto on the same card back with the shield and everything they came with originally, because it'd be a shame if they didn't. I know we're into 2025 now, and we're technically 41 years into Secret Wars, so I don't know how true this holds. Although I think Secret Wars started in July of '84, I think. I can't remember. But I guess they technically could still do the 40th year. I just hope Hasbro does more. So Hasbro, if you're listening to this or watching this, please give us a proper Doom and Kang and Dr. Octopus on a card with Secret Wars, with the shield and everything. But let me know what you guys think about this Spidey figure, about all these figures, Secret Wars in general. I love talking about it. It's probably my favorite comic run of all time. It's what got me into Marvel Comics as a young 6-7-year-old kid. This was my introduction. That Iron Man was the first figure I got, the original one from Mattel in '84. And that kickstarted my like for Marvel Comics. And here we are 40 years later. And I'm still into this kind of stuff. So, yeah, give me a like, comment, subscribe. And until next time, this has been Hasbro Marvel Legends Secret Wars Spider-Man. Thanks for watching.